Good afternoon, and welcome to another summary of the virtual directions. Here together again with Will. And Will, how was your directions day today?
Day three. Day three's been really interesting, actually.
No hangover?
No hangover, more than 3 hours sleep. Look, I think I look 10 years younger than I usually do at directions.
Yeah.
So some really, really good sessions today. The great thing about directions is you can kind of pick some sessions that may not necessarily spring off the page at you and say, let's go and investigate, let's go and see something I wouldn't normally see. So there's a few really, really interesting ones. There was obviously a world-class presentation done this morning at 10:30 in the Paris room.
Was that about migration?
Yeah, he looked surprisingly like me.
Yeah.
Where we talked about dealing with some of the blockers around moving to SaaS and doing the full SaaS migration. It was actually great to see how many questions that we had back on the back of that, about 30 different questions. Ran out of time, got thrown out of the session, but hey. But no, really, really quality engagement and really, really good questions from partners. I really enjoyed the managing the customer life cycle, managing the lifetime customer engagement session run by Neural Impact. It's actually a subject that's very dear to my heart because I've been discussing this very topic with partners a lot over the last 2 or 3 months, which is how you're communicating effectively with your customers. Are you in a real rhythm and real cycle with your customers? So that was really fascinating. I had a look at a Teams demo session, which looks so cool. We talked the other day about collaboration, and to actually see this stuff get brought to life, but also how simple it is to provision and set up a demo. You can do it in 25 minutes. I was tempted to almost go and sign up for a demo. Obviously didn't, but no, really, really, really very cool. And then had a few others. I think we both went to the George Brown session.
Yeah, I think that was an interesting one, the partner or the economic impact, which was first of all interesting. They had a lot of overall economic data and how the European Union, how the Federal Reserve Bank do see the economic picking up. And quite frankly, the summary to me was, hey, this might take longer to come back to where we started before COVID than most people would probably expect. So, George and Dana, they were more talking about 3 years, to go back. But I think if there's any learning, if you will, or advice that I took out of it was the fact that probably as a partner, I would try to select the industries and my customers moving forward under the impression which are the industries that are resilient to that impact, and probably be careful with those industries where you can expect that probably for the next 3 years you might see partners coming or customers getting out of business, right? And so I like the way that they portrayed that it's not a V curve with the economy bouncing back or any of these models. It's more like a K, because you have different industries. There might be actually industries that are benefiting from the crisis right now, which we all see. Think about delivery, but think about packaging. I found that interesting. That the packaging industry is having a boom, and then you think about industries that might slowly picking up again, and the ones that will probably drop out. I think making that a conscious decision moving forward was for me one of the highlights to think through, also with our partners.
Yeah, and I completely agree. I actually found it one of the most beneficial sessions of the whole of directions. I know talking economics can be a little bit dry at times, but I really like the way it's presented as that K-shaped model where some businesses are just dying straight away, some are going to go and decline, but others are going through the roof. And yeah, really enjoyed the way that was described. But you're right. I mean, if you're a partner who has a focus in, the underachieving red area, you got to think hard about where you move to.
Yeah, but I think overall it was a great directions, I would say. Of course, it was not the same thing. We all understand, and I think we all suffered from not having that contact and that networking. But I think, big kudos to the directions teams being able to, take that off and present, that quality in terms of an online conference. I think it was not only worth the money that we spent to sponsor this and to be part of the event, but also for everyone, of our team joining these sessions. So I would say it was, considering everything, it was a good conference. Do you agree, right?
Yeah, money well spent, time well spent. I can only say world-class presenters, but joking aside, it was actually better than I expected to be. We've all been in Teams conferences or Zoom conferences, and things haven't worked. But actually, 99.9% of the time, everything went without a hitch. The quality of the curriculum and the courses, great, and actually, some of the online conversations we ended up having as a result, yeah,
very good,
very impressed.
So with that, thanks for your summary, Will. Thanks everybody for joining. That was a quick summary. Of course, there will be a lot more content coming up in our QB shares that we're gonna do across Europe, also in an online format. So we know where the benchmark is right now. Looking forward for that, and thanks for watching, and you all have a great rest of the week. Thanks, Will. Bye-bye.